Hello and welcome to Andy's Amateur Adventures. Today I'm going to be unboxing and installing a hard rolling tonneau cover onto my Ford Maverick. So the very first thing I did is unbox it and I inventoried everything. Inside there should be of course the tonneau cover itself, but there should be a left and right hand side mounting side rail. You should have 6 brackets that mount the side rails onto the bed of your pickup truck. Then you should have the nuts and bolts for the hardware, and then you should have 2 straps that you use for when you roll the tonneau cover up to hold it in place while you're driving. And finally, you should have some weather stripping. If you have all those things, you're good to go. Inside the box, there were no instructions, and I did buy these from through Ford.com. But it did have a piece of paper that had a link to some electronic instructions. So no instructions in the box. You need to have internet access in order to actually read the instructions if you need to read the instructions. Now the first component I installed out of the box was the weather stripping. So I already have washed my truck and let it air dry, and now I'm taking some rubbing alcohol and I'm wiping down the entire back part of my truck that the weather stripping is going on, right behind that rear windshield. And that is to keep any oil, any grime, any gunk that didn't come off with a regular wash, and get rid of it, because it will keep the weather stripping from adhering properly. And I'm also at this time test fitting my my rails to see where they're going to go, and that helps me determine where exactly I need to set my weather stripping, because the left and the right rails should overlap the weather stripping. And the weather stripping is going to be a lot longer than what you need, so you need to take some scissors or an X-Acto knife and cut it to the appropriate length. That way it comes right up next to the edge of your trim on your vehicle. Alright, the next things you're going to install are the left and the right side rails. So the side rails, you want to put them as far forward on your truck as possible, because they have the extension pieces in the back that are adjustable, and that'll help deal with any manufacturer tolerances. So I just put it literally as far forward on the vehicle as possible, and it worked out perfectly. There are 6 mounting brackets that come with it, 3 for each one of the side rails. So I just laid the side rails on the side, and then I grabbed the middle mounting bracket, is what I recommend you go after first. And you put the middle mounting bracket in hand tight. There are serrations on the inside of the bracket itself and on the bed of your truck on the inside where the mounting bracket actually mounts to it. So just line those serrations up so that they bite into each other, and then hand tighten each one of those 3 mounting brackets, and then go back with a socket wrench and actually snug them down. And for the middle one, I lined it up with the middle marking in the inside of the bed, and then there's a grommet next to the rear one where I lined that one up next to it. And then for the forward one, there was nothing lined up to, so I just did approximately 9 inches from the front of the bed. Alright, the next thing I install is the actual hard rolling tonneau cover itself. So I just picked it up and set it on the truck bed. It was a little bit of a job to do by myself, and I initially set it backwards, so I had to take it up and turn around. But I found that once I got it on there, unroll it all the way and have the end of it up next to the windshield, or the rear windshield, and then fold it back a half a roll, and that will give you access to the grooves that you use to put the bolts inside of the hard rolling tonneau cover. This is held in with 4 bolts, and they just slide in those sliding brackets. And then on the side rails that you put on before, there are some oval grooves, and you put those 4 bolts through those 4 oval grooves, and then you tighten them down. And then after you tighten those 4 bolts down, your tonneau cover is actually mounted onto your truck. Now the thing is, you need to do a test rollout and a test fitment after you tighten those down. I had my tonneau cover, one side was shifted further down than the other side, and that caused it to unroll unevenly, and it wouldn't actually go into the grooves that was supposed to go into. So when that happens, you just loosen the 4 bolts and tug on the tonneau cover, and that'll shift the 4 bolts along the oval holes that are on your mounting brackets. And as I do for all of my how-to videos, I upload a separate video that is unedited and not sped up, so you can see everything and how it's done in real time, with some people gather a little bit more information seeing it done in real time. And that video will go up the day after this video. Alright, the next item that gets installed are the tie-down straps. So the tie-down straps are used to secure the tonneau cover when it's rolled up all the way next to your window, and they have brackets that install similar to the 3 brackets that hold on each one of the side rails. So I just put them behind the forwardmost side rail. I think you can put it on either side of those, but it worked well for me putting it just behind that and right next to that forwardmost side rail. And I tightened it down, and then I did a little roll it up, and I tested it. And you'll need to adjust your straps because the strap length is set to the maximum distance from the factory, so you'll need to adjust. So you'll need to pull it taut a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to have trouble reaching the handle for the strap when it's all rolled up. And you may notice and compare this to some of the older videos on how to install this tonneau cover. First of all, there's no blue Ford logo. And I was a little bit disappointed on that. I wanted the blue Ford logo when I rolled up my tonneau cover, but I guess Ford's not putting it on there anymore. Also, there's none of the vinyl that's on the left and the right side running along the tonneau cover. And instead, they have these rubber pieces. I read in the forums that a lot of that vinyl stuff from the older model, it fell off and it needed to be re-adhered. And this plastic stuff seems to work a lot better. So just so you know, I bought this through Ford's website, and this is how they're coming now. The final item to install are some bump stops. The bump stops are used for if you have the tonneau cover rolled up and you hit your brake hard or get into an accident, it won't fly forward into your rear windshield and crack it. It just makes it a little bit soft. So in order to install these, I just rolled the hard rubber tonneau cover all the way forward, and then there's adhesive strips on each one of the bump stops. You peel the adhesive strips and place them on your hard rolling tonneau cover in between the grooves. And there are 4 of these bump stops, 2 go on each side. Once you have everything installed, go ahead and roll it down and up a few times to do a test fitment once again. And if you're happy with it, you're done. When I rolled mine up and down, I saw that there was about a 1/4 inch of space in between my tailgate and where the tonneau cover ended. So I went back up and I loosened the 4 bolts in those oval brackets, and I just slid the entire tonneau cover down about another 1/4 inch, and then I test fitted after that, and the tonneau cover ended right at my tailgate where my tailgate went up, and that's where I left it. It's been sitting there for months since then. I hope that you found this video to be informative and helpful, and that you have a great rest of your day.